Hello there, it's Chunky Monkey 3001 here, and welcome along to a quick roundup of episodes 1 to 10 of my Tekkit Let's Build series. In episode 1, I talked about space using the B-Space mod, and also got to work designing the ship as a 3D model in Blender. There she is. I put the model together, and using some cunning little programs imported it into the space map as an empty iron shell. Going inside, in episode 2 I cut the empty shell in half, as you can see by this great big line down the middle of the ship, and started prototyping the decks, spacing them out as solid iron decks at first, for the iron panels to go in later to divide the decks up, and then started putting them into this right-hand side of the ship. In episode number 3, I finished putting the decks together and patched up a few holes in the deck and also in the hull that I accidentally punched whilst putting the decks in. Added some reinforced stone detailing to the outside of the ship here, and also mirrored this right-hand side of the ship over to the left, so we had a complete ship hull again, complete with solid iron decks. I also went over to Nuketown and built a large darkened room in which to test powered lighting. In episode number 4, I put together the first lantern design for the nuclear reactor and also tested the blast shielding, which you can see didn't go particularly well. We also tested out some designs for the third class cabins, for the powered lighting systems used in the cabins, and also some funky railings. Also some colour designs there which are yet to be built into the ship. Sneak preview! Red carpet treatment and all that. In episode number 5 I worked on the cabin power cabling for the lighting system, the networking for the ship cabin computers, copied the cabins down the length of the decks in MC Edit, and put on a fancy cabin light show. In episode number 6 I finished the cabin power distribution system for the lighting, mirrored the third class cabins onto the other side of the decks, and also got chased by some errant paintings. Ah! Here we go again. There also seemed to be a rather unfortunate case of singing aboard the ship. Not too sure about that. In episode number 7, I started the interdeck lighting systems here to highlight the edges of the decks, and also Mark stamped his design authority upon the ship with the design for the second class cabins. Also, I switched to the Sphax texture pack, and everything looks beautiful. We also started planning the layout for the engine bay, and Mark, peekaboo, introduced me to the wonderful world of equivalent exchange, starting out with this here redstone generator as a temporary generator while we get the nuclear power up and running for the ship so that we can test out the lighting. Also started on the hangar bay, did the floor and the ceiling, the lighting, and also started messing around with shuttles. Well, this is space after all. In episode number 8, I finished off the hangar bay, shored up the walls of the hangar bay, and also Mark made an appearance trapped in the new improved Uber lantern design for the nuclear reactor down here in the engineering bay. We also started putting together the major components, including the blue electric cells, the nuclear reactor, got rid of the old lantern which was starting to clutter up the place, and also built these funky ice generators to cool down the nuclear reactor, all courtesy of Chief Engineer Mark. In episode number 9 I introduced you to the new server which the ship has moved to, and also Mark's very funky safety blast door. That never gets old. And also this hulking great big beast over here. This tired looking old Christmas tree, I'm afraid, has far outstayed its welcome. Mark, if you'd like to do the honours?
Farewell, Christmas tree.
It's been a pleasure knowing you, but we must part ways. And whilst that slowly burns itself to a cinder, also in episode number 9 we dropped the deck here down a few blocks, and in episode number 10 finished it off, furnished it with a nice little grassy area in the middle with a lovely couple of indigo flowers. Yes, alright tree, just die quietly. A little splash of water, and also this door. Da, 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 da. And that pretty much rounds up the first 10 episodes of the Tekkit Let's Build series. So thank you very much for watching this roundup. Select one of the videos if you want to go back and watch a prior episode from the menu that's coming up now, and we shall see you in episode 11. Bloody bye!